Hey, that's us. We're live.
Hey, how's it going, Michael J? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So this is our number three live, and Kate and I are learning a lot about what it takes to put on a live show, and we want to give you a little inside. What happened last week, and we had a little snafu that we'll share with you from behind the scenes. So we were getting ready to go on live, and Kate, her camera fell off the back of her computer and behind her desk, and so she literally had to go behind her desk and get her camera and fish it back up, and I had to carry the opening of the show with the wondering what was happening.
It was like I
So
totally bailed on you, Michael
right,
J.
right. It's like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So, so if you've been joining us for a while now, you've seen some of our shows. We had our first one, which we talked about us. So that's all about Kate and I, and that we live here in West Michigan in the Rockford area. Kate works for opened her own business, and she is an insurance agent with the Farm Bureau Agency, and she's killing it, right? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I am.
So I'm talking, just so you know, Kate's doing some behind the scenes so we can get going this morning. Last week we had a great guest on. We had Sherry Williams, Bethany Christian Services, and she helped us navigate through some difficult questions about uh, trafficking. And so it was National Trafficking Awareness Day. And so we gave out some great tips on how you can keep your eye out for things that are going on and help people. So today, and we are calling today Michigan Day. Yay!
Yes, everything about Michigan, everything that you thought you knew, but maybe we'll be learning right along with each of you, right?
Yeah. So, one of the cool things moving to Michigan is we moved when our oldest daughter, Kimberly, was in third grade, and our twins were in second grade. And in third grade elementary here in Rockford, the curriculum is all about Michigan. And so they learn about the history of Michigan. And so we had an opportunity to go through that curriculum twice. So with both of our kids, our twins, and with Kimberly, and one of the things we got to do was go to the state capitol and on a field trip. And do you remember doing the field trip to the capitol?
It is one of my favorite field trips, but I think they need to do it with kids when they're like 2 years older so that you're not running through every exhibit and you're running through the Capitol building. We actually, on Isaac's field trip, the group that I was with, because those of you who know Isaac, he's very rambunctious and was a lot more so when he was young. We actually had security come up to us as we were entering because we got to go in the chambers while they were having a Senate hearing. And yeah, let's just say good thing they knew that fourth graders aren't a threat to public because
Yeah.
we had to be taught a lesson on the proper etiquette in a Capitol building.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So in 2017, that's when we moved here. The National Day calendar begins celebrating each state individually, and honoring them on Michigan Day. And so today is Michigan Day. So um, we're surrounded by four Great Lakes here in Michigan, and our shoreline is larger than any other um, continuous 48 states. So we have the largest coastline, if you count both the lower and the upper, and surrounded by all the lakes. Who do you think the largest state with the most coastline?
I'm going with Alaska.
Oh yeah, woo!
Am I right?
You're right.
Yes.
Hey,
Geography paid off.
oh wow. So Kate, what if we play a game today called This or That?
I like it.
You like it?
tell me how we're doing it.
Okay, so we got two topics up here on the screen, and we got to pick one to see which one is going to be the better of the two topics. And so the first one I have up here is Mackinac Island or Greenfield Village. What do you think you would like to go with?
Okay, well, if I had my pictures, I am totally going with a Greenfield Village because I worked on Mackinac Island. Definitely, it's okay, but Greenfield Village is so much for me. It's more interactive. There's so much more to do, and um, but I don't have pictures to prove it. So maybe
So, but you
maybe
worked
you have
on.
a different opinion,
Tell
Michael
me about
J.
working on Mackinac Island. You worked on Mackinac Island.
I did. I was there when I was in college. I was a freshman, just finished my freshman year of college, and I worked for the Murray Inn. And oh goodness, what's the name of the? They own the Murray. Oh, the Murray Hotel and the Inn on Mackinac. That
All
is where
right.
I worked. And you live in housing
Okay.
that's on site. And if you are over the age of 21, there's lots to do on Mackinac Island after 8 o'clock at night. But if you are a 19-year-old college student and you live on the island, there was not very much to do. After the hotel hours were over, you kind of just went back. The coolest thing, though, Michael J, was a lot of people from Jamaica work on Mackinac Island.
Oh,
And so the house that we lived in, there were a couple chefs that were from Jamaica,
okay.
and we got to have lots of great meals. The meals that the Jamaican chefs prepared, because we were all on our own for dinner and stuff, but we would have community dinners every once in a while. Oh my goodness, those flavors, Michael J. That's probably my best memory of Mackinac
Yeah,
Island.
Mackinac
Not
Island.
the not the poopy horses and not the riding your bike around the island, which is cool. You have
Yeah.
to ride your bike around the island. Have you ever done that, Michael J?
Not the bike. We've walked.
Around the whole island?
Not the whole island, just part of the island.
Oh, whew.
So looks like Jason was with us a minute ago, and he said that he would pick the island, but he also said that you had a point um, about Greenfield Village. So
Yeah, what about you have some pictures there, Michael J, of Mackinac Island.
yeah, our
Um,
family has been about 3 times to Mackinac Islands, and we enjoy taking the ferry over to see everything. And of course, there's the rock, right, that everybody gets a picture with.
uh-huh.
And they're there. We also pictures with the horses, because for those of you that don't know, Mackinac Island doesn't have automobiles. At least not when the tourists are there, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they don't have any automobiles, but they have horse-drawn carriages, or you ride bicycles. So those are the things that we do there. So there's our crazy family taking a picture collage there at the Mackinac Island.
And it's so beautiful. The Lilac Festival is beautiful on the island. And when you guys were there, did you go to the fort?
We did go to the fort, yes. We had a
Did
picnic
you?
on the lawn in front of the fort.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so there was a local grocery store. It's actually right next to the park itself, and
Hmm.
we went inside, and they had lots of prepared items. So they had sandwiches, they had salads, they had all kinds of stuff, and so we were able to put together a picnic lunch and take it out on the lawn out there and eat it. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know that we actually went inside the fort. We walked around the fort and down the long um, path through the woods over to where the arch was.
Oh,
And
sure.
yeah, and then we took the big stairs all the way down to the beach,
Hmm.
and then we walked around the perimeter back to the main port.
Yeah. So
If
the
there
next
was port
time
of
you
entry.
go, I strong like the taking a tour of the fort is pretty spectacular because it is the original fort where battles were fought.
Yeah.
and they do reenactments. They the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts, they actually are the presenters. Hello, Michael J. How can I help you?
That was
um,
just a reminder that if you're watching, please silence yourself.
yes, keep all your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. Silence your phones. Um, yeah, it's really so it is cool. Mackinac Island's cool. Um, but Greenfield Village you can access year round. That's the other thing too about
Oh,
Greenfield
okay.
Village. They have
Okay.
like Christmas Town and um, lots of cool things that you can do at Greenfield Village.
So you want to play another category?
Yeah, let's do it.
Um, so is it Lake Michigan? This or that? So are we going to talk about Lake Michigan or Lake Huron?
This is another tough one, Michael J. So I grew up on Lake Huron, like 30 minutes away. So I feel like I'm going to be going against my heritage. But I mean, we all agree it's Lake Michigan, right?
Right? Yeah. So um it was Lake Michigan was one of the first lakes that I saw, and we went to uh we drove out there when we were on our way visiting here for the first time, and I was hoping my wife would be done with her meeting, and we just got in the car. We drove straight out to see the sunset at Lake Michigan, and that's when we, had our toes in the sand and the water. There was no salt, there was no sharks, and so we were like, we need to come and hang out here at Lake Michigan. So I think you've been out there a few times, haven't you?
Yes. So we travel. So this picture of Lake Michigan is actually at PJ Hoffmaster, which is, have you guys been there, Michael J? It's like 35 minutes from Rockford.
I think we've mostly been somewhere between Holland and Muskegon.
Oh, okay. So for parking wise, this gives you very close parking to the lake shore.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't have said that because now I won't have a place to park next summer. But I parking is and that there's not as many waves and stuff, so it's more calm. I think at PJ Hoffmaster. Um, but yeah, we love Lake Michigan. Watching the sunset, going up, you know, to Sleeping Bear Dunes, and our family just and camping at PJ Hoffmaster. Um, if you're lucky enough to be one of the people that get a site, because you have to start booking them like 6 months in advance. Um, so we love it. We love it at Hoffmaster.
Here's the
Ooh.
kids. This is on Lake Michigan, which is at the place Sleeping Bear Dunes, right?
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
that is, I think there's still so much energy and smiles in their faces in that photo. So that must be the walk on the way
We
down,
just.
not the walk on the way up, because
Oh,
we
okay.
we we went all the way to the bottom. And for those of you that don't know, there's that big warning sign that says if you get all the way down and you need to call for help, it's like a $2,000 fine or something.
Somebody said when we were there that if you walk along the shoreline, there's actually a place to come up that's not as steep. Have you ever heard that?
Yes, yeah. So there is, but it's an accomplishment, right? To say you've done it, to say
Yeah.
you made it all the way to the bottom.
Yeah. So Sleeping Bear Dunes, 2 miles to walk down, or 2 minutes to walk down, 2 hours to climb up. So
Yes.
that's what the sign said there.
Yeah, I would say that that's not an exaggeration. It probably took me a little bit longer than 2 hours, but
Yeah. So this must have been when we first moved here because our kids are looking a little small. Not quite as tall as they were. Hey, guess what? We were in Muskegon and we ran into a Santa on Lake Michigan.
I mean, my question is, what was Santa doing in Lake Michigan?
Santa was doing pop-bys. He was doing like drive by spontaneous Santa greetings.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. That's
Yeah,
really
so
awesome.
we had no idea what Santa was up to, but that's what he was doing. he was hanging out at the beach there. So here's a look at Lake Michigan over at Holland,
Oh, uh-huh.
right? So
Yes.
here's the kids in the Sleeping Bear Dunes area, not on the steep part, just the photo before you basically fall off the edge down there. So this guy over here, back here, is it. He's not on the shore. It goes way down.
Oh, mhm.
Yeah, he's not standing on the shoreline. So that's Lake Michigan.
And I don't know if you've ever, when you go to Grand Haven, I think it's Grand Haven. Yeah. Have you watched the ships come in, Michael J?
Yes, we've seen them come in, the big ones.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think I like watching it there better than at the Sioux. Have you seen it at the Sioux?
We have not. Nope.
That's another trip you should go see because the water level from I think it's like Lake Superior to Lake Huron, the water level is so different that
Yeah.
they have to put the ships in this thing that raises and low. It's like an
A
elevator
locks.
for
Yeah.
yeah, at the Sulaks. It's so cool. I remember being little though and being terribly bored. So maybe it's just a you and Sherry trip
Kind of
and
thing.
not a
Yeah.
kids trip
So
because
if you're watching, go ahead and let us know where you're watching from. Just type it in the chat there, and we'll have you on there. Um, we have another category. What's another category? Here we go. This or that, Kate, up north or downstate?
um I feel like you should talk first, Michael J, because I'm from Michigan, so I feel like oh, look at your shirt says. I feel like we already know what Michael J's feeling.
So up north, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so
Uh,
I grew up in both places, and I will
okay,
say that my childhood up north was amazing. It was there's no childhood like a childhood up north. Lots to do that you can't do in the city. But then
so
you have to debate about where does up north start, Michael J. Do you know?
where does it start? Does it start at the bridge?
You would think. It doesn't. No.
No.
Apparently, like, Cadillac is considered up north. So,
Oh,
I
yeah,
would consider
from
Cadillac
Grand
downstate,
Rapids. Yeah.
but, um, universally in Michigan, like, wherever, like, Cadillac is across the state, Saginaw, that's all up north. I don't
All
think
up north.
Saginaw is up north, but
Yeah. So we did take a trip up to the UP 2 summers ago when everybody was trying to escape the COVID. The COVID. My family thinks that's funny when I call it the COVID. But we right here where it says P. That's where we stayed, in a little town that's right there, and we had a Airbnb that was owned by some friends of ours. So I'll put that information in the chat. So if you ever want to go up there and stay, you can contact them and do that. And so we literally went kind of all over the central part of the UP there. Um,
what was your favorite part up there, Michael J?
So we liked the overlook at Miner's Castle, and it was where we had the opportunity to go picture rocks and see from the boat what was going on. And not a lot of people. It's hard to explain it to people who haven't been there, but it's up on Lake Superior, which is super cool. And it's basically a large cliff where there's lots of rocks. And so here's my son Kason with my wife Sherry, and you just see these different layers that are how the lake has kind of and the wind have eroded the soil down. So, and there's lots of these little inlets, I guess, and so it's fun for them to take the big boat, the big boat
Uh-huh.
in there. But it can be a little cool on a boat, so you got to bring a jacket with you. But we had some great time up there. So this is where we are
That's
down here, and that's up there. So it's like 5.5 hours.
uh-huh. Yeah.
I think
Yep.
maybe Florida or Texas are the only other states that you drive like you drive like so far. So this is a picture up there as well. Um, That sounds funny to say, but it was like, I don't know what we were doing. That's down. That's not up. So
Yes, that is. Torch Lake
is
is up
it?
north, Michael J.
Well,
Yes.
up north, but not in the UP.
No, but it is
No,
up north.
it is
Torch
up
Lake
north.
is
Yeah,
definitely up north.
yeah. So, what's this one, Kate?
So that is we as a family, like this is all the kids for our friend group, but we go tubing. We try to do it once a year. We don't always get to. But that is a river. It's the Platte River, which is near Sleeping Bear Dunes National Park, but that's also up north, and it dumps into Lake Michigan.
Oh,
So
okay.
we tube. It takes like a couple hours, maybe 3 hours. But we go as a big group of friends, and we take all of our kids, and um, the river's really shallow, so you can even see like the fish while you're tubing. Last year there was a snake, a water snake that I'm not doing a good job selling this, am I? But it is actually quite cool. And the water's warm when we go, so that's always something that you have to consider when you're going up there.
So I guess Sean Bean agrees with you that up north is anywhere south of Grand Rapids.
Where is Sean? Where are you
I
from?
don't know, Sean. Where you at? Or maybe he corrected himself. Up north to me is anywhere north of
Oh,
Grand Rapids. Okay, all right, Sean. So
that yeah.
that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, yeah, right?
Do we have any more pictures of the up north area here? What's
Yeah,
this one?
so this is in Leland, which is just outside of Traverse City, and probably like 30 minutes, I think. Um, this was a bed and breakfast that's managed by the most adorable couple. But it's in Leland, Michigan. And Matt and I went up there. We did this thing called Pack Up and Go. Have you heard of it, Michael J?
No, tell me about it.
Okay, so Pack Up and Go is this awesome thing where you give them like your criteria, and you tell them, how many days you have, whether you want to do a road trip or um, uh, they do it anywhere around the United States. You want to go on a vacation, but you have no time to plan and you don't know where you want to go and you want to be surprised. So um, I just told them what my budget was, and they planned. We did this for our anniversary last year, and it took us to Leland, Michigan,
Okay.
and it's off of Lake Michigan again, because Lake Michigan is amazing. But there's also Lake Leland, which this little cottage overlooks Lake Michigan. Or sorry, not Lake Michigan, Lake Leland. Um, in the Leelanau Peninsula. So it's beautiful. I can't say enough things. And Pack Up and Go if you are adventurous, like I am. I'm the uh, I'm the risk taker in our family.
Okay.
So I strongly recommend packupandgo.com. I don't know how to access the chat, Michael J. I thought I would try, but I didn't. So I
Oh,
put it in
okay.
the wrong spot.
Put it in the captions.
I did.
Okay.
But anyways, Pack Up and Go is a great opportunity if you're a risk taker and we just said we wanted a road trip within an hour or 2 hours or something like that from Grand Rapids, and it did the rest.
So we'll put all the information for that down in the comments after the broadcast,
Awesome. Perfect.
so that we're not like the missionary with the 20,000 slides. What else? Is there anything else we want to just click through on these, or is there something you want to mention?
I don't know.
No, that was it.
I
Oh,
think,
there's
yeah, I
Christmas
think,
up in up north.
oh,
So there's
yeah.
actually a Christmas Michigan, and so you can go up there and mail your Christmas cards. It's a little far to drive 5.5 hours to mail your Christmas cards from Christmas. But anyway, so
I wonder if Santa in Muskegon was the Santa from Christmas.
oh, I don't know. We don't. I don't think so. But here's the Upper Falls. I think it's the Upper Falls.
Ooh.
Tahquamenon Falls. Yeah, this would
Mhm.
be the upper falls. So there's the upper and the lower falls. And so when we moved here, people started telling us like where to go or things to do. And so we just started making a big list of places to go. And through that list, we just started knocking them off. So in 4 years, we've kind of done a lot, seen a lot of stuff, over to Whitefish Point up there and see the museum and the lighthouse that's also up there up north, and that's kind of was our little trip up there. So
Oh,
yeah,
fun.
I think we have a few minutes for one more. If you wanted to do a this or that, do we want to do maybe Whitecaps or Griffins? What do you think?
So I personally see, I love them both for different reasons, Michael J. Um, I mean, because to me it's not just about the sport, but like the venue itself kind of thing. So,
Okay, okay.
what about you? What do you like?
I've never been to the Griffins yet, but I have been to. No, I haven't, but I have been to um, the ballpark.
Okay.
Yep.
Hmm.
So um, let's go out to the ballpark. how's,
Yes.
how's better, everybody?
It's so bad, right? Because I keep wanting to call it Fifth Third. I have to transition to
Oh, the new name.
the LMCU.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So we've had some great opportunities to go out and um, had some really generous friends who have invited us to come out to the game and set up in the boxes. So that's
oh,
always a
uh-huh.
fun.
It
Makes
is.
that a
It
little
is
more fun, right?
it is fun to sit in the boxes. I've had
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's cool.
So yep. And this one is actually taken at Frederick Meyer Gardens, and they have the Whitecaps does a event where they raise money for local charity, and so they have a big auction night and dinner kind of thing. And so we got invited to that and just hanging out at the Whitecaps game. So I have to tell you this story. Here's a ball right here, right, that I'm holding in my hand with my kids. And actually I'm
Uh-huh.
down on the field. So for my 50th birthday, I was throughout the first pitch at
Oh,
the
that's
Whitecaps
so
game.
cool.
Yeah, but I
That's
was so
awesome.
scared to do it because I was like, I haven't played sports in forever, and I never throw a ball straight, right? So I kind of did a cricket move where I kind of ran from the mound toward the pitcher, and when I got close to the plate, I lobbed it at him, and his eyes got really big because he wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do. He just knew this big man was running at him.
Oh, uh-huh. Yep.
So, but always fun to go out and be at the park and just enjoy it. So.
Yeah, and even the lawn seats, I'm trying to share it with you, but I probably can't because I'm not that tech savvy, at least
Yeah.
not fast enough. But um the lawn seats, this is awesome. If you go to a Whitecaps game, you get a discount at AJ's, which is right next door. That's what that's a picture of, is AJ's.
The go-karts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the seats at the Whitecaps, the lawn seats, I think it's like $5 a ticket. Maybe
Okay.
10. It might be
Yeah.
10. But you can bring your chairs and it's great. I love the Whitecaps. But the Griffins, they were like national champions. Like one of the first years we lived in Grand Rapids, we got to go to a couple playoff games, and that was pretty cool.
Awesome. Awesome. So, anybody in the chat have any questions that you want to pose to us about our Michigan adventure that we've had? So it's been a wild ride, right? So even with the pandemic that's going on, you still can find opportunities to get out and explore on a tank full here in Michigan. And so even spring break last year, we went to sort of the eastern mid part of the state, north of Detroit and north of Flint, and we went to explore the German heritage town and Frankenmuth, and
Mm-hmm.
also went up to Bay City. as far as Bay City. So we got
Mhm.
to experience a lot of that. So um, all right, so that's kind of our show three. We wanted to just talk about Michigan Day and some of the places that we've explored and had an opportunity to see and share with our family. There's so much to see and do here in Michigan, whether it's spring, fall, or winter. And in the summer, it's kind of nice too because you can get out in the water and it's not too crazy, you know.
Yes.
So it's much different experience for us, and what's great for us as a family is that we've been able to do so many activities together because in our prior life in Florida we weren't able to have weekends together. So that's been nice
Oh, that is
transition for
awesome.
us. Yeah. So I think that's why we've experienced more as a family. Is just because of the way we changed our life in order to do that. You know, we made
Uh-huh.
some sacrifices to move from Florida up to Michigan, and as we talked about in the MJ and Kate on us, and that sort of had this opportunity to just do a lot of family stuff. So, parting shots, Kate, before we um, head into our next week's show.
Yeah, so, my parting thought for all of you is mull this over. Are you a Michigander or a Michiganian?
Michiganian, Michigander. What's a Michiganian?
I exactly, but after this few years of COVID, if I hear us called Michiganders any more times in a news conference, I think I will say I'm a Michiganian just because I'm so over the phrase.
They're over the phrase. Okay. So next week's show, we will be. It is going to be. It's actually National Hot Tea Month, and so we're
Mhm.
celebrating National Hot Tea Day next week on Tuesday, and we're going to introduce you to a very good friend, long-term friend of mine, who started a tea business in the middle of the pandemic, as well as a new place called Poured that's coming to downtown Rockford. So
See you next week, everybody.
see you next weekend.